Hi, and welcome back to Culinary Alchemy. Same show, just new do. Tonight we're making Mexican for dinner. We're doing grande burritos, quesadillas, and the works. And I wanted to make a dessert that would complement that. So I've decided to make one that I made a couple times before. It's a really intensely rich and delicious dulce de leche chocolate chunk bread pudding. The only special piece of equipment that you'll need for this is an 11 by 7 inch glass pan, which I have here. Actually, it doesn't have to be glass, just 11 by 7, that's the key. And I've brushed it with 1 tablespoon of unsalted melted butter. Once you've got your pan brushed, set it aside and then assemble your ingredients. For the bread portion of the ingredients, I've already done this step, but I'm going to explain to you what I did. I've taken 8 half-inch thick slices of egg bread, and you can use challah or brioche or Mexican egg bread, whichever one you choose. And I've cut it into 1-inch cubes, and then I've lightly tossed it with 3 tablespoons of unsalted melted butter, drizzled it, tossed it, and then baked it in a 350-degree oven until it's light and golden in color. And during that process, I stirred it a couple of times just to get it a nice even color. So once you've done that, actually after you do that, you want to let it cool and then set that aside once you've done that, and then gather the liquid portion of the ingredients that we're going to toss with the bread. So here I have 4 eggs and 2 egg yolks, and I'm going to add a pinch of salt to that. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of dark rum. I have a passion for Gosling's Black Seal, but you can use Bacardi or Myers or whatever one you like to use. Just make sure that it's dark, not light. And then whisk that together, and you can whisk it vigorously. It really doesn't matter. It's not important to be so gentle. And once you've got the egg mixture whisked, just set that aside as well, and take 1½ cups of heavy cream. Put that in a medium pot. Along with 1 cup of dulce de leche. Now, dulce de leche, once I get it in here, I will tell you a little bit about that. Dulce de leche, the main rich ingredient in this dessert, is the Mexican creamy caramel, and they make that by slowly caramelizing sweetened condensed milk. But if you can't find that, I actually have a lot of really neat little Mexican shops nearby to where I live, and I just ran down to the store and got some of the Mexican dulce de leche. But if you can't find that, you can use homemade caramel or store-bought caramel. Either one of those works just as well too. So once you have it in your pan, and I like to get every last bit completely in my pot or pan, we're going to heat that over medium heat just until it's blended and bubbling. And you want to just stir during that process so that the caramel gets really incorporated into the cream and gets really nice and blended. So the blending and bubbling step can vary depending upon your stove. Things cook pretty slowly on my stove, so the whole process took me about 10 minutes. But I don't mind because it's a super easy recipe on the whole, and it tastes so awesome, it's definitely worth the wait. So once your caramel milk or cream mixture has bubbled, you want to gradually whisk it into your egg mixture. Make sure to start gradually so it doesn't curdle the eggs. Once you got that whisked in there, you want to take your toasted bread cubes and add them to the caramel mixture. And you want to give them a good stir so that they're evenly coated. I don't know if you can see in my bowl, but here they're really nicely evenly coated. And once you've got them evenly coated, you're going to set them aside to soak for about 30 minutes. You really want them to soak up all that caramel liquid, because that's what makes it really, nice texture, soft and smooth, and just so delicious. You just can't wait to take a bite. So set that aside for 30 minutes, about 30 minutes, till it's fully absorbed the liquid, or almost fully absorbed the liquid. And in the meantime, you can set your oven temperature to 350 degrees. Start preheating that for the baking step of the dulce de leche bread pudding. About a half an hour has gone by, and the bread and caramel are pretty nicely incorporated here. One thing I did during the 30-minute soaking time was to stir the bread and caramel together occasionally, just to really combine it well. Next thing to do is to take a half cup of chocolate chunks, small chocolate chunks or chocolate chips, as I have here, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and add them to the bread and caramel mixture, and stir them until they're nicely mixed as well. Get your pan that you've prepared and pour the bread mixture into the pan. And just spread it nice and evenly so that we get full bread cubes in the corners. Last step before baking time is to take 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and sprinkle it evenly over the top of the bread pudding. This gives it a nice crispy texture on top. Seems like a lot of sugar, but it needs it. Okay, we've got all that sugar on, and we're ready to put it in the oven. We're going to put it in the oven at 350 once again, and let it bake for about 30 to 35 minutes until it's puffed and set in the center. Dinner was super tasty, but my family and I couldn't wait to get to dessert so that we could dive into our delicious bread pudding. Wow. Check it out. See what you think.